Good morning and welcome to our daily devotion for Tuesday morning, the 12th of May. We did one of the two that we read for yesterday, or actually for today, I guess it was entitled Money as Master, and it's part of a series that's under the title of Counterfeit Gods, and certainly that's what money and possessions can become for us. Today's devotion is entitled Grace and Money, also under counterfeit gods. Luke chapter 19, verses 8 through 10. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back four times the amount." Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." The fact that Zacchaeus is a tax collector and they had a reputation for being crooked, uh, in their own nest, as it were, he recognizes the error of that, and the Lord in His house. If I'm gonna give half my possessions to the poor, that means He's letting go of that idol, and I'm going to pay back four times the amount of anybody I may have cheated. Also, a sign that his life is changing and his value system is changing, and that's what being a Christian has to entail. Otherwise, we're not truly understanding the transition, the transformation that needs to take place. Zacchaeus wanted to follow Jesus, and immediately he realized that if he was to do that, money was an issue, kind of like the rich young ruler. So he made two remarkable promises. He promised to give away 50% of his income to the poor. This was far beyond the 10% giving that the 10% giving that the Mosaic law required. Zacchaeus knew that when he made this offer, his heart had been affected. Since he knew salvation was not through the law but through grace, he did not aim to live by only fulfilling the letter of the law. He wanted to go beyond that. Zacchaeus' second promise did not have to do so much with charity and mercy, but with justice. He had made a great deal of money by cheating others. There were many people from whom he had taken exorbitant revenues. And here again, the Mosaic law made a provision. Leviticus 5:16 and Numbers 5:7 directed that if you had stolen anything, you had to make restitution with interest. You had to give it back with 20% interest. However, Zacchaeus wanted to do far more. He would give back four times the amount he had stolen. That's 300% interest. In response to these promises, Jesus said, from his observation, salvation has come to this house. Here's a changed life, is what he's saying. Notice he didn't say, if you live like this, salvation will come to your house. No, it has come. God's salvation does not come in response to a changed life. A changed life comes in response to the salvation offered as a free gift. Jesus right away recognizes that Zacchaeus isn't trying to buy his forgiveness. He's recognizing that he has the need to straighten things out in his life, in ways he treated and cheated others from whom he collected taxes, from others whom he overrated their tax level, and it didn't take long for him to have Jesus in his house, and right away be confessing his sin, basically, in this, and his willingness to turn that life that he had lived, to turn it around. And Jesus recognizes that he's humbled himself. Zacchaeus has, and Jesus recognizes that there's a real change in this man's heart. There's a real change in this man's life and the choices of his life. And Jesus basically says, and that tells me this man has just been saved. Salvation has come to this house because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. And that's what happened that day. I assume, we've all sung that song about Zacchaeus. I know we did it in Vacation Bible School. We did it at summer camp. Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed up into a sycamore tree for the Lord. He had to do the gestures for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior passed that way, he looked up in the tree and he said, Zacchaeus, you come down here. I'm going to your house today, which shocked the Pharisees who followed him around, looking, looking to pin something on Jesus that said he'd broken the law. He'd not practiced the correct law and doing things a certain way. Grace and money. Grace is what Zacchaeus receives. Money is what has been his idol, his God, and he wants to cut that one out, and he wants Jesus in his life. Those are the realities of people who get saved, people who respond to the good news, people who realize they've done wrong, people who understand that the way they've lived their lives has hurt others, has cheated others in some way, shape, or form. And that is evidence of this transition, of this changing of his life to to reflect that he's responded to Jesus and Jesus's love and Jesus's standard for how we treat one another, which is also evident in the Beatitudes. So let's be careful with our choices, with what we put first in our lives as ways of priority. Some very, very good things can become idols for us. And Jesus talks about that too. In those who are going to follow him, he's got to be the first choice. First choice over family, over your job, over your money, over anything else that you put at the top of your list of things that you want to have and want to do. It's got to go. It's got to go. For we can't serve two masters. And that would also cover a day or two ago, I believe. Grace and money. The reality is, in that title, Zacchaeus has realized he needs to be done with craving money and keeping money for himself that did belong to others and he cheated them out of it, that was going to go. And instead, in all the money he had and got in crooked ways, he was now going to show grace to others and pay them back 4 times as much in one of the promises that he makes. If I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. That that is a changed heart. You can't you can't get around it. It's a great story. It's a great event in Zacchaeus' life, and I'm sure people who were there that day, who knew him to be the tax collector, they had terrible, terrible reputations, and they heard him say that. I can only imagine the did you hear what he said? Kind of look on the face. And also, I'm guessing also, oh, good, I'm going to get my money back kind of attitude. But that's the joy of this story. A man who had used his position to cheat others was now basically going to cheat himself. He was going to pay back ways that he had cheated others. He was going to bless them with what he had taken from them and returning it back to them. Life change, that needs to be evidence of our salvation. That what we once were, we're not anymore. What we once loved to do, we don't do anymore. And what we're doing is giving back to Lord what he has given to us. He blessed us freely. It was given to us. Freely we received it. Freely we give it. I don't remember exactly the verse on that, but I know that's what it says. So blessings to you today. Be a blessing to others today in any way that you can.